Hello everyone, today I will show you some changes in the library management system project. So here if we actually go to our localhost then library folder, then you can see two folders here. If we click on any of them we will go to that site. So these are actually acting like two different websites. Once we actually click on the student side, we have totally different login, registration and other pages for student side, and also for the admin side we have different files for those sites. So they are not actually working like one single website. So if you see that when we click on them, we actually directly go to the index file. You can see they are actually taking us directly there. It is not even written index until we click on the home page. So it is actually by default happening like this, because when we upload a project, or when we actually make any website online, then they will actually directly find the index page whenever we run that website. This happens by default. So this is actually happening in this part too, but when we will actually upload library, it will not find any index file in the main folder, because there are actually admin side and our student side, so it will not actually take us to the website directly. So that is why we will make some changes here, so that we can actually when we make this project online, we can directly go to that index page. So let me just copy this previous version, and let's modify this library folder a bit. Inside this we have our two sections. So here we need to create some common pages. That is our index page, our feedback page, and like our book page. These are the common pages a student or any admin or any person can actually visit without logging in. So that is why we will make this page common. Okay, I just moved those pages, but we don't need to move it, we need to just copy them. So just copy those files that we need: feedback page, index page, book page, and there is some other also. I'm just copying them from the student side. You can do it for your admin side too and modify it. And then we will just copy our footer and then our navigation bar. Then again we will go to our student side page and we will copy our registration file. Then again the login page. Okay, we need to copy the style sheet also, so we will just copy them together. And then again we need these two folder for the bootstrap styling and the images that we have used in these common files also. So we are just copying the two folder here. And now we can delete our login and registration page, because these two page we don't need in our student side and admin side now, because this is a common page that will be outside these two folder. Only the activities that will be actually happen inside student side and admin side, that will remain in that folder. Otherwise the pages that are common between student and our admin, that will be outside those two folder. And here you go. Now let's start actually. If we click on this library, now you can see we are not seeing this two folder. We are actually going directly inside that website. And here you can actually see all these other common files. Okay, there are some error because we have not included the connection .php file outside this folder. So let's copy the connection page and let's paste it in our library folder. Okay, now if we run again, there you go, our book page is all right, and here our feedback page is also okay, and the common page are sign up and the login. Now what we need to do is we need to actually find if the user is actually student or admin. If it is a student, then we will direct them to the student folder, and if it is a admin, then we need to actually redirect them to the admin page. So for that we need to use some radio button here to choose between the two options, that who the user is. Is it a student or an admin? So let's go and do this. So for that we need to go to our student login page. Okay, as actually you can see that we are actually using this for everyone's login option for admin and also student, so we will just name it as login.php, not student login. And as we have changed this, you can see that we are not actually recognizing the previous name anymore, so we need to actually change the navigation bar where we have used this name. So let's check if there is any navigation for login on the sidebar. Okay, there is no option for login in the sidebar, so we don't need to go to every pages. We just need to change the index page and the navigation bar page. So here is our index page on the student side. Okay, there is no other option. And here again we will open another file for navigation bar. These are actually outside the student and admin side. This is inside our library folder. Okay, so here we have another one, login.php, and no other option. Okay, let's save this file too, and we can delete this, and we can delete this one and open the new file. The new one is called actually login.php. As you can see, here is our new name. Okay, all of them are working properly, so that is all. Now what we need to do is, okay, let me just change this bootstrap link here, because those links are actually too long. I'll just delete them and use the folder instead. Okay, you can use the link if you want, there is not a problem. And then after this we will just restyle that box here we are using, because this box is actually too short if we want to use some radio button here. So let's go again, and here the student login styling start here, so we will just take our box 1 from here. Let's delete this one, and again let's go. We will just make it 500 the height, and let's make the opacity 0.8. Okay, now the box is actually longer, and now we can add the button on the upper position. Here is our form, and before this class begin, we will write our code here. We need to write a statement here. First, inside the paragraph tag, we need to write login as. We will add a padding on the left side, 50 pixel, and we will add font size, 15 pixel, and font weight, 700. And let's see how it looks like. Okay, this is all right. Now we just need to add the input. So let's go to the next line and create an input option, and type will be radio. Then the name will be user. ID will be equal admin. Also the value will be admin. Then again another input, type will be again radio, name will be same, user, but the ID and value will be student. Now let's see if it is created. Okay, now we can see two radio button here. We can select them, and we need to actually show the label beside these inputs. So here the label is actually admin, and another label for student. Let's add styling for the input first. This will be margin on the left, that is 50 pixel, and the width will be 18 pixel. Now copy this and paste it inside the other input also. Now save it and refresh. You can see them both on the side by side, and now we can actually choose between these two. Now we just need to see if we can actually get these values when we click the submit button. But before that, let's add some styling for the label. So here we will add two styling: font size 18 pixel and the font weight 600. Okay, we can select both of them. Now let's check if we can actually see the outside here, output here if we click on them. So we need to go to the submit button, and inside this we will echo the variable $post and the name of the variable or name of the input. So what was the name of the input? It was actually user. Let me check again. Yes, it was user, so we will just use this name, and we will see if we give any wrong input, then if we can see this on the left side. Okay, we are actually getting some error here. Undefined index user, they're actually not recognizing the index. Let me check again. Probably I made some mistake. Let's write for admin, again label for student. Okay, there is no change here. Okay, let me try again with the student name. Okay, this time actually we are getting the values here. Okay, we gave the wrong value, that's why the username and password doesn't match, but we are actually getting the value on the left side, so that means it is working properly. Okay, let me just clear this one. Okay, we cannot log out yet because we have not actually defined the logout page here. Let me just delete this whole tab and let's start again. Okay, this time we again log in, and here admin, let's give a wrong password and everything. Okay, so it does not match, but you can see on the left side the admin, we clicked on the admin here, so we are getting admin here. That means we are getting everything properly. So now we can use this in our code. So let me just change the styling for this one a bit because it is actually overlapping with our box 1. Okay, so we can actually take the box on the upper side, so we don't need to change anything else. So let's make it margin 0 for box 1. Okay, now it is all right. The box is actually moved a bit upside, so now it is not overlapping. Now let's go back here to actually use this value that we get whenever we click on these buttons, and we will use it for login to our student side or our admin side. So here, if $post submit, that means if the button is pressed, then here again another if condition, that will be $post user will be equal, you need to use double equal, and then inside quotation mark you need to write admin. So if the admin is pressed, then we will actually direct them to the admin side login, and else we will actually do this. As this was our student side login, that means our code is already written, so we need to just write this code below for our student side. So here we will start our bracket and end it after all of this code. So let's go downward. After the else condition, here is the bracket, and after this we need to add a second bracket. Okay, and the last one is actually for our submit button press. Okay, so inside this if condition, that means our admin side login. So we need to open our admin side login code. Okay, inside this admin side admin login page. So here we need to actually copy this portion after this if condition. So all of this code will go in that position. Okay, except for one bracket, we will copy all this code. Then here inside this if condition, if the $post username is equal admin, then we will just paste this code here. Okay, this way we can actually direct them to the admin side or the student side. And here you can see our student side variables and our admin side variables are all here. So let's check again. Okay, all of them has been written correctly. Let's try to log in again. We are clicking on student, then we will actually give username for any student. Let's say Promi, then password, and then we will log in. But here you can see we are actually trying to find inside that library folder the profile.php, but it is actually inside our student side. So that means we need to actually give the location properly. So this is inside our student side. Before this we need to write the folder name student and then a slash. Okay, so student then slash then the file name. That is how we are actually directing them to the student side. And inside the admin side code, here we need to write our admin side folder name and then slash and then profile.php. That is how after login they will be directed there. Okay, so let's again try this student then promi then password then login. There you go, we actually inside that student side. Now after login a student can do anything. Okay, a student can request the book like previously, then they can actually check their fine, they can return the book and all the things like previous. So there is no other change. Now we need to change the logout button because we need to actually go outside that student folder. We are actually here inside this page, but from there we need to direct them. If a student logs out, there will be outside the student folder inside this library folder. Okay, we need to direct them to this index.php page in this folder, not inside the student folder, because if a person log out then they want to log in again, our login file is actually outside the student folder. That is why we need to redirect them on the outside that folder, and for that we need to actually do here give a slash and then two dot here, two dot and a slash. That will take you in the outside that folder. Wherever you are, you will go outside that folder. And you need to do this for your admin side too. Let's do this right now. Dot dot and then slash. Save this and drop it. Okay, now we will just log out from here and you will see that we are actually inside library folder. You can see we are outside the student folder, and if we want to log in again, here we are again. We can log in from our from this to our admin side. Let's do this now, and you can check here we are actually inside the admin folder, and this way we will not face any other problem while we actually make this website online. And you can see after logout we are actually back in the library folder. So now we can actually work this as a single website, not two different website actually inside a library folder. And we can actually do this for our we need to do this for our sign up page too, registration page. I will show you in the next video. But we are actually doing all this thing. We can actually do something else if we don't want to do all these pages outside this folder and everything else. We can actually make all this code in a single folder for all the student and all the admin folder inside a single library folder. There will not be any other codes other folder like live admin or student. For that, we need to actually make different session variables that we have created in our login page. You see, if we go to the login page, and here you can see the session variable, you need to write like student login user, student pick, student username, or admin login user, admin pick, admin user. You need to make every variable name give a different name for every session variable you create. That way you can actually use this session variable to actually make them understand that you are actually logged in as admin or as your student profile. That is the way if you don't want to create all these files outside that folder. But in that case, what you need to do is, when we will actually, let me show you here. Here in every page we have written some condition like this. If you set a session login user, then you need to actually write in every page two different if condition, one for admin and one for student. Every time they will actually check if you are a student or you are an admin. So the code will be a bit much longer and complicated than this time that we have created right now. This is actually way easier to understand, and it does not get that much complicated. But you need to do for every file in your admin side files and in your student side files. For all these pages, you need to actually write two section of code to check if you are a student or you are an admin that are actually trying to request a book or approve a book. That is why I'm actually finding this way much easier to keep them two folder different and make some common pages from where you can direct them to the admin or the student side. And now we can delete our registration and login page from our admin side too, as we have actually done this before.